My dear students, welcome to our next chapter of English literature. Here is Pratik sir welcoming you again to yet another fascinating video on a very important lesson. Well, to be very honest, all the lessons in English literature are very important because these lessons teach you a lot about life. Have you ever planned a trip with your friends? Well, even though I wanted to have a trip with some of my friends this year, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus situation, I had to drop all plans. And it sometimes makes me very sad to realize that we are all stuck in the four walls of our houses, hardly able to venture out. But that's the demand of the situation right now, my dear children, and that is the reason we could not start school for you, because we care for you. And since you know that coronavirus spreads through human touch, so we cannot sit next to our friend and have a picnic at this time. And that's the reason the government of India has suggested washing your hands, sanitizing them, and maintaining social distance wherever you go. You need to maintain a gap of around 1 feet from the person that you are talking to. Otherwise, even the spit droplets, the saliva can transmit coronavirus today. Having said that, it's very important for us to sit at home, dream about having a vacation, and be happy. My video is going to take you on a vacation today with 3 more other people and a dog. By any chance, can you guess the name of our chapter today? I'll make it easy for you, my dear children. Now I would request you to focus on this chart. Can you see the picture here? Well, it's of a boat and there are 3 people on the boat. And can you see the dog here? Well, it might look like a rat. I'm sorry, my drawing skills are not that good, but I have tried, my level best. It's all about trying, my dear children. This dog is a pet which belongs to the 3 friends. Now let me introduce you to the characters of this story. And my dear children, before I take you to the characters of the story, the name of our story is 3 Men on a Boat. And this story has been written by author Jerome K. Jerome. So it's JKJ. Jerome K. Jerome is a British author who's known for his wit and humor in all the stories that he writes. He'll make you smile no matter what mood you are in. And this story was published for the first time in the year 1889. Now let me take you to the characters of the story. Okay. We have got 4 characters in here. The first character is the author himself. I have put the alphabet J to denote the author, although no name is written in the story. The name of the second friend is George, who works in a bank. He has a 10 to 4 job, and it happens to be a very monotonous and sick job, okay, where he has to work like a machine, okay. There is no feeling in that job. The third friend is comparatively lazy, and he daydreams a lot. His name is Harris. And you have Montmorency, okay. Please take care of the spelling. It is not Montmorency, it's Mont, M-O-N-T, Morency. And Montmorency is the name of this dog which is there on the boat with these 3 friends. The theme of our story, my dear children, is humor. If you read this story, it will make you laugh. And the backdrop, okay, it's simple. 3 friends are planning for a weekend trip. Before I take you to the story, have a look at all the important words. First word is CD. Meaning of CD is unwell. Second word is giddiness, not giddiness, giddiness. You feel giddy when you are nauseatic, okay, when you have a very drowsy sensation. Third word is patent, not patient, patent. Patent means copyright, when you make something by your own, okay, and nobody can copy that. That's called patent. It's used for drugs and medicines. Fourth word is ailment, which you already know. It means disease. Fifth word has been used in the first page of your story, distemper. Distemper means an infectious disease. There's another word called premonitory. Premonitory. It means to have a surreal feeling about something uncanny which is going to happen. The next word in the list is listless. Listless means to have no enthusiasm or confidence at all. Then there's a word called chum. Well, chum is an American English word. It stands for friend, pal, or buddy. Hampers, as you know, hamper is to prevent something, okay? But then we use hamper for gift hampers also. So please note that in English, you can have one word with different meanings. Next word is illustrative. Illustrative means when you are actually demonstrating something or describing something with the help of an example. Then you have another word called unanimous. Whenever we have a joint opinion, a joint consensus, that's called unanimous, which means something which is agreed by everyone. And the last word is equilibrium. Equilibrium, you all know it, is a scientific word, means balance. Okay, my dear children, recently we had the unfortunate news of the demise of Sushant Singh Rajput. Have you been through that news? Well, Sushant Singh Rajput was a very talented hero who played the role of Mahendra Singh Dhoni in that movie about Dhoni's biopic. People said, his doctor said that he was suffering from depression. Well, my dear children, since we are in an era of tremendous competition, people might land up into depression. And depression can be of a lot of different types. There was a report from World Health Organization earlier this year claiming that the world sees around 8 lakh deaths, suicide attempts of people of different age groups due to depression. And the most alarming news here is India stands a country with the highest suicide rates in the Southeast Asian countries. In case if you ever feel alone, in case if you ever feel depressed, do not stop from seeking help. Seeking help is not a sin. Talking to people, talking to your elders, your parents, or to your teacher, or to a friend is not bad, my dear children, but silence is something which creates a lot of worry. In case if you feel deprived, depressed, or sad, always talk. Vent your feelings out, my dear children. And if there was no lockdown in this year, I would have definitely suggested you to take a vacation. Take some time out with your family members and spend time with yourself so that you feel happy. Now come to the mind map. Let's see how the chapter flows. As you see, there are 3 people on the board. So the name of the chapter is 3 Men in a Boat. And first, there are 3 friends, who feel giddy. They feel nauseatic. They feel out of the box. They don't feel healthy because they work under severe deadlines like most of your parents. And they have tremendous pressure in their lives. So they go to the British Museum and they read about some of the books and the journals, medical journals, which informs them about a lot of lifestyle diseases which can affect your organs. Jay felt a hospital within himself. When Jay read about those symptoms in the British Museum, he actually felt that he was a storehouse of a lot of diseases. Those are signs of depression, my dear children. So he went on and consulted a physician friend, a doctor who was his chum or a pal, and he got a prescription and the doctor suggested him to buy some medicines from the chemist. After having done this, the friends sit together and they discuss that their life is full of stress and they wanted some rest. Due to this particular situation, Harris came out with a suggestion. He suggested that they should go for a trip. Now the question is, where can they go? Harris suggested that they should go for a sea trip. But this plan was dropped. Finally, a river trip was fixed. For the reason being that a sea trip would not be complete in few days' time. A sea trip should be of minimum 1 week duration. But they didn't have much time because they would be having office again on Monday. So a small river trip was planned, although Montmorency didn't like it. So it was 3:1 ratio. 3 friends for a river trip, but Montmorency said, I don't have much as a dog to do on a river trip. But then they went on with it. So the trip was planned for the next Saturday. It was decided that Harris and Jay would start from Kingston and then take a boat up till Chertsey. Now, these are places in UK, Britain. And George would join them later because George had office that day. So he would take half day, being a Saturday, and he would join the French. Now the question arose, since it was a rainy season, would they camp outside in the open, or would they book a hotel or an inn? Finally, it was decided that it all depends on the weather. In case if it rains, they would stay indoors. But if the weather is fine, they would go out and enjoy outside. That is how the chapter ends, my dear children. It's a very difficult chapter to understand because there's a lot of information that has been provided by the author. But let me tell you, this is how you analyze literature. And not many teachers in many schools would be able to help you in this way. Okay? So these are the notes. Now I'll be sharing a photograph very soon with you with this entire details of the chart so that you can have a look at everything in one particular purview. Should you have any doubts, we'll meet in the doubt clearing session. Very shortly, we'll be sharing the question answers with you, and then we'll have a unit test. Thank you so much, dear children. God bless you.